Welcome to another Dongers of Runeterra Donger deck discussion with me, Sith Holocron, from aforementioned little group of European players who love Legends of Runeterra. So I have went back to revisit an old favourite of mine, Shadow Isles, being a massive, huge region that I totally adore. The Undying deck was a fantastic choice for a while in the 3 or 4 metas ago. Really strong. But with patch 1.12 coming out, there are now cards that are going to make this even better. And again, even better against the entire meta as it is right now, as landmarks are becoming meta. So there's Universities of Piltover, Vaults of Helia. Pretty much all the 6 are being used. Deep are using their one. So we need ways to be able, if we're not using a landmark, then we need ways to kill things off. So I have made the Undying again. God knows what version this is now. But I think this has got a lot of juice in it. So the premise of an Undying deck is if you can make things vulnerable that kills off your Undying so it comes back bigger before, that's great. Self-induced killing is also great. Pretty much hurting yourself in a big bad way is great. So with all of that in mind, here is what we're looking at. We are looking at 40 cards that maximize our chances of even beating landmark meta decks. Now, this deck will struggle against something like War Mothers, and it will struggle against that. It will struggle against big Freljord units, as we can't block. If we have 2 or 3 Undyings out, we are in a bit of trouble. But if you manage to get them to like 5s each, then you probably win the game by round 8 or round 9. And there's a lot of way of being able to kill our units in here. So we're going with a very stereotypical Shadow Isles build. But I've splashed Bilgewater. Because I like Bilgewater. Most of the meta decks at the minute, like, Jinx, Draven, Discard. Yep, that has Bilgewater in it. Oh, Pirate Aggro. Oh, yeah, that's got Bilgewater in it. So pretty much 3 of the top 4 decks in the meta right now are running Bilgewater. So I want to make a relatively top tier deck. I know the guys over at the Twin Suns have been messing about making very good Undying decks, but now with the new patch, a couple of new cards, is this good? Well, let's go through the deck like we always do. Hit this button first. 25 units and 15 spells, no landmarks, no champs. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a champion. This is championless. Some of my favourite decks because they are very cheap to build. So really good for newcomers, really good for other people to come in who are maybe going, oh, I've got to level up Nocturne so everything becomes fierce. No. Oh, I have to, draw more cards to level up Fate. No. I've got to drop a spell to make Fizz. No. Just play the units. All right? This is simple. This is not a hard deck really to play, except where you need to take your trades. So I've went a little bit vulnerable, a little bit let's bump up our Undyings for the attack thing. Try and keep a few units, which is why we have so many units up there already. And I kind of like anything between 12 and 16 spells in nearly every deck, to be honest. And I like quite a lot of 2-drops. So, Ravenous Butcher. Play me kill an ally. Phenomenal over 2 units in this game. And we'll get to those 2 units later. And then you also get him as a 3-2, which is fantastic. 2 of these. Why on earth are we running 2 of these? Well, it's won me a game when I had them down to just 1, and I had this in hand, and it cost nothing. Kaboom! You're dead. Thank you very much. Shouldn't be called Warning Shot, should be Final Shot, I think. Because so many people use it to end the game. And I've seen people rope with no mana and then throw it out, and that's horrible. That is horrible. I'd kind of do it quickly. I'd put the guy out of his misery. Bark Beast. First time an ally dies, grant me +2/+2 becomes a 3/3. 3 of those. And most of this deck will be 3s, by the way. We have a couple of 2s near the end, but that's about it. Bark Beast, fantastic. Things will die all over the place here, which is fantastic. You do want to be killing your own Undyings. You do want to be killing your own Cursed Keepers. So, let's go to the Cursed Keeper. There he is. I've spoken about this guy often enough. Kill it, you get a 4/3. Kill it with this, you get a 3/2 and a 4/3. That's 7 damage. That's great. First of the new cards. I was talking vulnerable, right? Well, vulnerable is a main part of Bilgewater. That's number one, the reason. And number two, they've got really good cards to, grant enemies vulnerable. And the word grant is phenomenal because it sticks. It's not for the round, stays until you kill them. Now, the thought process behind this is very, very simple. Grant enemies that will kill off once you have put down any kind of undying creature at all. Throw out even your Cursed Keeper into one of these in the 1/1s, and that's fantastic. This costs 1. You deal 2 to an ally to grant 2 enemies vulnerable. So pretty good when they've got like 3 or 4 units and you know you want to kill something off to make your things quite good in the next turn. This is an amazing addition to the Undying deck, I believe. And that's why we're running 3 of. So, if you do 2 into this, you will automatically get a 4/3. And then you can get this in. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's fantastic. It really is brilliant. How else do we kill ourselves? Well, come on, guys. We're in Shadow Isles. Glimpse Beyond. 2 mana. Kill an ally. And you get to draw 2 cards. Card draw. Which is what we're after in this deck. Because we want to get things working really, really quickly. So, like, Shakedown, I just think is a phenomenal addition. Hired Gun. Staple in most Bilgewater decks. Simply because he's a well-statted 2-cost drop. And you grant the strongest enemy vulnerable. Brilliant throughout the entire game. Brilliant. Literally brilliant. She's fantastic. Like, she is absolutely brilliant. Again, a 3 of. And then we're going to go to Stalking Shadows, which has been in the more hyper aggro-y kind of Enduri decks. An awful lot of like Diana Nocturne. Anything with Nightfall in it is pretty good. Anything with Shadow Eyes in it, this is pretty good. So you pick a follower from the top 4 cards in your deck. You draw it, you shuffle the rest into your deck, then you create an exact ephemeral copy in hand. There's more things dying. All good, indeed, and only cost 2. Yes, please, we are taking that. And if you get a Cursed Keeper or an Undying, pick it, because then as soon as it dies, it levels and goes +1/+1, which is wonderful. And then the one that I'm kind of... I want more. I want more from previous metas. So this was brilliant to put on to... Like, imagine you put Bark Beast down on 1. And then you put the Cursed Keeper down on 2. And then you put Blighted Caretaker, and especially if you're attacking on odds, you put this onto the Cursed Keeper, you get a 4/3, you get a 2/1 and 2/2/1 ephemeral units, and your Bark Beast goes to 3/3. So that's 3 from the Bark Beast. 4 more is 7. 2 from the Blighted Caretaker is 9, and then 4 more is 13 damage you're firing to face. And you just wipe out an entire board. Brilliant. Just brilliant. But we've other tricks. But I had to put 1 in. I mean, I had to put 1 in, right? It's just how it is. So it'll be interesting to see how other people, if they are even going back to the Undying things. And there is the person that we are doing the whole thing around. It's the thumbnail for the video. This is pretty much what I do. I take this, I screenshot it, I put it into editing software, and off we go. Brilliant. Now, he does have his limitations. He's a last breath unit. Revive me at the next round start and grant me +1/+1 for each time I've died. That's class. And as you can tell, we can kill a lot of things with units, with spells, with ease. Is the words I'm desperately trying to get out and stuttering away. It's really, really decent, but as I was building this, I thought, no, I need more. I need more. Give me more. So, okay, Chronicler of Ruin. You kill an ally and then revive it, which is fantastic. So this you 100% want to put on an Undying unit. So it comes out as a standard 2-2. Let me get this back up again. It's a standard 2-2. The next round, if you've got it, you pop this onto the 2-2 that's down there, and then revive it. So you get a 2-2, but then you get a 3-3 from the first one because it's dead. So you revive it back to a 2-2, and then at the start of the next round, you get a 3-3. Amazing. Especially if you can do this on defense. Let them, we can't really do an awful lot. This actually gets you a 3-3 unit, just like you get the 3-2 from the Ravenous Butcher, which is kind of class. Slightly better statted, but an awful lot more expensive, as this one costs 4, and the Ravenous Butcher costs 0. So mana efficiency-wise, the other one's really good. But then you're not only killing it, you're reviving it, and if you do it on the Undying, you're getting another unit that's buffed. Damn straight am I doing this. So here's where all the 2 drops start coming in, because I got the here, and I went, okay, I am playing a lot against Vaults of Hellia and Star Spring especially. But Vaults of Hellia is definitely in the meta. Uni of Piltover is now in 2 decks that I know of. It's Jinx Draven Discard and Jinx Karma and Vi, I think, in another one. And if it isn't, I'll probably make one. I saw online somebody was talking about it could be really good, and I think it could be really good. Howling Abyss is fantastic to get your 2-level champions. This is really in the meta. And Noxria Arena, pretty good if you can combine Noxus with Freljord to get big massive units and kill their weakest enemy. Good as well. And as I said, the deep one is pretty good as well. But there are things like draw a landmark or destroy a landmark for 3. Well, sadly, we're not in Targon. Kill a damaged unit or destroy a landmark. That's Noxus. So I'm up here. So I could have that. But, damaged unit when our main attackers don't actually block. It's very, very hard to damage them. But you do just get to destroy a landmark for 3. But what we've taken is this. Kill an ally to kill a unit or destroy a landmark. And if you've been watching my landmark videos recently on this YouTube channel, you'll know that if you've got a landmark, you should be running a bare minimum of 2. But probably 3. And then we can all get to the thing where you're playing against Deep and Nautilus comes out and you go, okay, you put down a Nautilus. If he's putting down a Nautilus, you're 100% getting 5 for this. The weakest unit on your board, and kill it. Just take it off the board. It's gone. Or if the Howling Abyss or the Arena is starting to really ruin your day, if this increase from the Vaults of Hellia to get another one that costs 1 more is ruining your day, it can also destroy a landmark, and that is why we're running 2 of. Not all decks run it, so then it just becomes the first part. And I love the way that Riot puts these things in. So, you can get your dinosaur to be 2-5 or 5-2, or you can add 3 power or 3 health with twin disciplines, or summon 2 dragons or give all dragon allies +1/+1. They're ores, and I love the way they do this. So this entire landmark thing has pretty much done the same thing. Shuffle unit or landmark in the deck. Crumble, I think, can be an MVP against decks that play landmarks, because they're not going to expect people to have the tech to get rid of them. And if you've built your deck around getting, level 2 champions or getting better things, absolutely wipe this out. If this is causing you hassle against your Jinx, just destroy it. Just get rid of it. It's also very good to get rid of Jinx as well, because she levels super fast. So, that's Crumble. And then I wanted more killing, much more killing. So, you got to remember that the Undying is a 3-drop. if we take this and kill an ally to summon a random follower that costs 2 or more, if you do this, if you do the Chronicler of Ruin, you're getting a 6 drop. If you kill an Ethereal Remitter, you're getting a 7 drop. Excellent, 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 excellent. Now, where are we? And again, don't forget, you're getting a 5 mana 4/3 for this. Where are we against the small little spider things, the small little 2/1, 3/1 things that you can get in all these very fast aggro decks? What can we do to destroy them? Well, I really am beginning to think this card is demanding to be back in the meta at least a 2 of, which is how many I've got in this. This is Withering Wail. It's not only deal 1 to all enemies, you also heal your Nexus 3. When you're running an Undying deck, you need to keep your Nexus as high as possible. That 3 is a Tavern Keeper, and then a red card from Twisted Fate that costs 2 to play. The only thing you don't get is the Nexus damage. I think Withering Wail for mana efficiency against aggro, that's what it's in there for, and that's why it's only a 2, because there's an awful lot of combo decks, and an awful lot of big control decks are starting to come into the meta again as well, because we always, every patch, aggro, 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 and then we kind of go to like control, and then out of control we come into like combo decks, and you know, aggro beats control, control beats, you know where I'm going with this. So, we should be going quite wide with this, at least 4 to 5 wide at most times, and getting some damage in after, say, round 4 or 5 is absolutely well done. So by that stage, it might be really good to heal absolutely everybody, heal your Nexus 3, and then rally, all because of the Citrus Courier. Oranges across the board, please. Smack 3 of them into the Nexus, and then beat the living daylights back out of them, because remember, your Undying can't block. He can't block. He is atrocious at blocking. So is the Cursed Keeper. And we're running 6 cards out of 40 that literally can't do anything on defense, which is why we have the Remitter, the Chronicler of Ruin, the Blighted Caretaker, the Hired Gun, the Bark Beast, and the Butcher. They are all solid land units that will soak up damage. That's what you use them for. If you can get them through in an attack, phenomenal. If not, not to worry. So, at the start of this, I said we're running 2 of these. Why? Well, because we're in Bilgewater, and if you're running 2 of those, you may as well run 2 of these. Riptide Rex to literally start cleaning off a board to entitle you to then, on the next turn, because I love playing this in defense. They put down a unit, I warning shot it, Riptide Rex it, and most of the stuff that they have down there, again, unless you're playing big Noxus horrible units with Overwhelm or Failure that have been buffed by Omen Hawks and Hearth Guards, their board's gone. Like, they are done. So, this is my brand new version of the Undying. Hope you enjoy it. It's about nearly, goodness me, 20 minutes of doing this. So, that's the deck. This is the Deckcode. And I will put all the links to our social medias and invite to our Discord and that Deckcode right at the top underneath this video. You can have a look at it as soon as it's over, which is now. My name's Seth Holocron from the Dongers of Runeterra. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, Dongers out.